They came from diverse backgrounds. One from Hindi heartland, the other from Gujarati speaking Maharashtrian family, that too a Parsi one. And they, after marriage, blended so seamlessly together like water and milk. Both are IAS officers of 1974 batch from Haryana cadre. Vivek and Firoza Mehrotra. Let's talk to them about their journey together. A very, very warm welcome to you, Vivek and Firoza.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, for our viewers, can Firoza please tell us your respective background, your childhood, and in a brief?
Okay, thank you. So I was born in Bombay and grew up in Maharashtra. I went to school in Pune and then college in Bombay. And very soon I decided I wanted to appear for the IAS, not knowing exactly what it was all about. But I attempted only as a graduate, which was again quite a rare thing. Fortunately, I was successful in getting into the central services, customs and central excise, and then appeared one more time and got into the IAS. Besides that, my passion was swimming, and I did some competitive swimming and also swam for Asia.
Very nice.
Also qualified to swim the English Channel, which regrettably I didn't swim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Vivek, please tell us something about your background.
I come from Bundelkhand area in Uttar Pradesh. I was born and brought up in Banda. I spent my early childhood in Banda and then moved to Allahabad for my higher education. I passed out of Allahabad University in 1971, and in 1972 I joined the State Bank of India as a probationary officer. Then in 1973 joined the Central Services, and in 1974 I joined the IAS.
So, how come both of you meet? Where did you meet first? Was it during your customs and excise services or in LBSNAA?
We met at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. Our training at that time was at the Savoy campus. So that is where we met for the first time.
So, when you were selected for the civil services, means IAS, or was it when you were selected for customs and excise?
We met at Mussoorie, and by chance we both got the same central service, which is customs and central excise. So yes, that's from where it all started.
But you got married after you joined in IAS, or was it during central service only?
No, after we joined the IAS.
IAS. So, what were your hobbies? Like her hobby was swimming. What were your hobbies?
My hobby was also playing sports, including swimming. But I swam in the river in Bundelkhand area, and of course all kind of sports. So played cricket, we played hockey, played football, played volleyball, everything, whatever one could.
So, coming from such diverse background, how did the compatibility grow, and how soon did it grow?
I think once you decide that you want to live with a person the rest of your life, you learn to adjust and you learn to accept. And I don't think it was a problem. I was also very fortunate in having very, very understanding in-laws. And so it was quite easy.
Okay.
Difficult in the beginning, but easy overall. If I look back, I would say easy.
Maybe we will like to add something.
Yes, I think coming from such diverse backgrounds, it required a lot of understanding of each other's cultures, also a lot of adjustments. And again, we were very fortunate that both her parents and my parents were very understanding, very accepting of each other. That made our lives and our tasks of adjusting to each other and to have to forge a life together much easier. And we are really grateful for the set of parents both of us had.
Firoza, you are a multilinguist. So where did you learn French and German?
Well, I did French in school, but then I also, French was my major subject for my BA, so I had actually 6 papers in French. And then after I finished my BA, I decided to learn German during an intermediate place. So I learned German for two levels at Max Muller in Pune.
And the 2 languages came in handy during your international assignments during the career later?
Not really. French a little bit, but not
German.
Because mainly my international work was always in South Asia or in Asia, and then later it was global, but I think Spanish would have been more useful.
So Vivek, how many languages do you understand which Firoza speak? Like Marathi or Gujarati or French, German?
I understand English and Hindi. And of course, one universal language, the language of love.
That is great.
And
That's
French?
great.
And French, little bit.
Okay. So did it ever happen that you sometimes maybe you were angry at him or you fought with him and you wanted to swear in German or French?
No, never.
No fights ever?
No, fights were there, but
But all in native languages, not foreign languages.
Yeah.
So, I presume there were many more interesting stories during your career which you wanted to relate but you could not accommodate in the book which has been written. So, do you plan to maybe come together and write some more memoirs for maybe the young generation?
I'm not sure if we want to write for the young generation memoirs, but we definitely would like to write a little bit about our travels, because we've traveled quite a bit, and as you also mentioned, he writes very well and also takes very good photos, and so we thought some kind of a travel book, we've had some very interesting experiences during our travels, which may also make it good fun.
So, did you ever, Vivek, you can tell, did you ever bring your developmental issues, office issues, governmental issues home and discuss together?
One unwritten rule which we followed all through our life was that once we came back from office, we never discussed office work at home, because that would have been too much to handle. So we never discussed our office issues at home.
Unless there was a crisis and we needed each other's help once in a while, but not on a routine basis.
So as we discussed our last interview, Firoza, I'm talking to you, that once during your initial years in the service, because of the Devi Lal episode, your husband had to face the flak because of your decisions. So is it ever happened that the vice versa happened, that you had to face the flak because of your husband's decisions?
Well, not really. I didn't have to face flak that way, but I had to also join him on many postings because of his very upright nature and so he was moved. And there are some places where only one person can be. So, yeah, but I think that's part of life.
Yeah. And Firoza has been on a number of international assignments, especially after retirement. So, how many times did you accompany her on those assignments?
I accompanied her when she went to places which I wanted to see or which were very interesting for me to see, because otherwise it was not always possible because she was busy with her work and all. But I did go to some very interesting places with her when she was on assignments. Went to Bulgaria, went to Argentina with her, and into Mexico with her, because those are the places which I really wanted to see. I also wanted to go with her to Afghanistan and Pakistan, but that was not possible because of many restrictions and many difficulties traveling to those countries.
So again, I'm going to ask you, if you had not been an IAS officer, what would you have been?
If I was not an IAS officer, then I would have been a farmer, would have taken up the family profession of my father. Actually, I wanted to be a farmer till my father decided that he would be the last farmer in the family, and then he made sure that I stopped coming to the farm and prepared seriously for my exams.
And Firoza, you? What you would have been if you were not an IAS officer?
Well, I really don't know. I had many ambitions growing up, starting with being a kindergarten teacher and a professional swimmer, and doing some kind of work for society. I didn't know exactly what. And this was also one of the kind of question marks, because coming from Bombay, where the IAS is not such a common profession, and when I did decide to do the exam and take it up, many of my family were quite shocked and wondered what this was all about. But I knew I wanted to do some kind of work with the people, for the people, but I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. And when you guys trained in LBSNAA, so what was LBSNAA like then, and how is it now? What has all changed in LBSNAA?
The time we were in the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy, our first stint was in the Savoy campus, which is really not the main Charleville campus, the main academy. In those days, when we were there, the facilities were very, very basic and very rudimentary. And you didn't have running hot water, you didn't have heated rooms or anything of that kind. But we survived, and as young people, I don't think these things mattered much to us. But of course, I haven't been to the academy now for the last many years. But the last when I went there, I saw that the physical and the creature comforts are far more, and of course, now everything is on computers and online and things. In our days, it was not like this. We still belong to the days of cyclist-style papers and looking at the notice board to know what is happening and things. So things have changed, things have moved on, and as they should, as in any developing society, and as things have improved, things have moved on. It's all for the good.
Ma'am, will you please tell us how has the training module changed in National Academy of Administration in Mussoorie? Have you ever noticed that what was the training like in your days, and how is the training now?
No, I'm afraid I'm not
you have
very
not
familiar
kept
with
abreast
that.
with that.
But one thing I do know is that there is a gender resource center at the academy now, which is a very positive step. And I think gender is receiving more attention now.
Vivekji, my last question to you is that both of you, rather your entire batch, when you were inducted into the service, those were tumultuous days of emergency. And when you retired, that was during UPA 2, which was marked by policy paralysis because of number of scams. So emergency was also kind of policy paralysis. When you ended your career, it was also during policy paralysis. So do you wish that your career would have begun on a different note and should have ended on a different note?
If wishes were horses, really something which is beyond anyone's control, and the emergency was declared while we were in the field. We had no control over that. But the end of our service, I would also like to mention, was not only characterized by the policy paralysis which you mentioned, but also something diametrically opposed to what happened during emergency is that when we retired, you had the Right to Information Act. The emergency was all about censorship, and here you have Right to Information Act. So I would like to look at those two extremes.
Right. That's very nice, and I think that was very nice of you to have, both of you, to have come together and answered the simple questions. But I think it's very interesting and very nice of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.